Okay, update on the Beamer project. Went down to Walmart and got us a battery for it, and I think it was 150 bucks. So 603 plus the 150 for the battery. We're at like 750 bucks for the Beamer. We're gonna get the battery put in. I got a fuel pump. I bought a fuel pump online, sending unit. It also wasn't very much. I'll have to double check. And we'll put the fuel pump in today, and we should be able to get this thing to start and idle after we get the battery in and the fuel pump in. I'm fingers crossed that it should start and idle and sit here and idle. So we'll see what happens. But for now, we're going to put the battery in, and then we'll move on to the fuel pump. Okay, for those of you that don't know, the BMW 328i, the battery is actually in the trunk. So we're just going to stick this new battery in here, get everything tightened up and installed, and go on to the next part of this project. Get that screw in there. Okay, so got the battery. Okay, one of the nice features about BMW is the fuel pump itself is actually right here underneath the back seat. You just pop this back seat off, and there is a trap door to get to the fuel pump, so you don't have to drop the tank or anything like that. So we're going to pop this seat out and drop the new fuel pump in there and see what happens. Stuck on the other side here. So like I said, as you can see, there's actually two spots here, and I did research it, and I can't remember exactly what the other door was for, but this should be the side that we need for the fuel pump. Yeah, right here's the fuel pump on this side. So I'm going to take our bolts out here and remove this plate, and then the fuel pump will be right underneath of this trap door. And once I get this out, I will give you a little closer look at what it looks like, but you just have the 4 bolts on the plate here. I'll have to check eBay. I purchased the fuel pump off of eBay. It's the whole entire sending unit. So I want to say it was less than $50 though. So that will hopefully solve my fuel gauge not working issue as well as the fuel pump issue. So And there she is. It's definitely, looks like the original fuel pump. It's been in there a while. So let me grab you and show you a little closer look at what we got here. Okay, what you have to do is you have to use either a chisel or a punch or a screwdriver or something. And you can see on these rings where I was pounding on it, but I used a punch, and you just stick it on there like that, and then you pound it off in a circle. It was definitely rusted up, and then that thing will pop off, your ring will pop off, and then there is your fuel pump. And it's ready to remove and take out of here and stick the new one in. So we'll take it out and get this new one put in. I'm sorry guys, I don't have a very good camera angle, so it's really hard for me to film this. I don't have a way to hold my camera so you can actually see. So I'm going to try to do this with one hand, trying not to get any dirt or anything down in the tank more than is already in there. Yeah, see, the fuel pickup line is busted. And there's your sending unit and your O-ring, and that is your float to tell you how much fuel you got. So there's the old fuel pump. We're gonna set it out here. Here is the new one, ready to install. New O-ring, and just double check to make sure everything looks the same, and it does, looks pretty similar. So this one's definitely old. The pickup line on the back here, as you can see, is broke, so it's obviously wasn't working, but we wouldn't get any fuel to the motor. So and you can even see some rust and stuff, and the side garments are all gone from where it's setting that old fuel for so long. So we're going to drop this new one in. Again, sorry I don't have a very good way to hold the camera, so I'll get it in, and then I'll show you once we get it in. So okay, I'm going to try to do this one-handed so you guys can see exactly how these things go on and off. Actually, let me show you this. If you can see, this actually is spring-loaded, so it's got springs in there. So don't think you did it wrong if you stick it down in there and it's not flush, because that's how it's made. Once you get the ring on and tighten the ring up, obviously that spring will be compressed and pushed down into the bottom of the tank. So you just have to get your everything lined up. Screw this back on just like a jar lid. And I'm going to take this and tighten it up just a little bit once we get everything connected. I got us a new hose clamp because I cut the old factory one off. I'm pretty sure that was the factory fuel pump in it from 1999, so it's definitely been around a while. We'll put our fuel line back on. And then this plug, actually, if you can see, it just slides. This slides, once you get it in there, it slides. And that's how it clips itself in. So you just plug this in. See if I can get you guys a good angle. If I can get it slid to where it's supposed to go, there we go. If you see those little notches on the side, and then the little notches in this, you have to line the notches up, and then as it slides down, it clips in there. So there we go. Now we got her lined up, and then this just pushes on. I clip it down. See, this just slides on and off. Push it down and clip it on. So I'm going to tighten up our fuel line, our clamp on our fuel line, and tighten up the clamp on the fuel line, and tighten up the ring on the fuel pump itself, and then put the plate back on, and we should be good with the fuel pump. We'll see how everything goes. Okay, I talked in the other video about the hoses being broke. So again, eBay found the intake hoses, the air intake hoses. So we're going to take these two old air intake hoses off. The one that I makeshift repaired, as you can tell, is definitely toast. So So we're gonna get rid of that one, and we're gonna get rid of the other elbow that we had. These were broke whenever I got the car. If you remember right, I taped them up, and so we could try to get it running, and we successfully got it running. So I went ahead and bought new ones. Since we knew it was going to run, I went ahead and bought 2 new hoses. So we're going to go ahead and put these hoses on, the new fuel pump, the new air intake hoses, and we should be ready to go. So we should be able to fire this thing up and give it a try anyways, and see if we're going to be able to get it to run and stay running. So okay, I'm going to stick these on. I apologize because I don't have a real good camera angle to show you, and I can't do it with one hand. So I'm going to stick these air hoses on, and then, or air intake boots on, and then I'll show you once we get them all on there what they look like. So and here's our mass airflow sensor. Got our clamp on there. Oh, that's tight. I'm gonna have to loosen that up a little bit. And then on the mass airflow sensors, I gotta find it there. There is an arrow right here. It tells you which direction the air is flowing, just in case you forget or you happen to set it off to the side like me and you can't remember which way it goes in. It does tell you which way the air is flowing, so you need to make sure that that's in correctly, or it definitely won't run right. And I'm gonna have to okay, as you can tell, the K&M filter was already on there when I got the car. So I got the new hose on, got the new vacuum line on it, got everything on there and tightened up. All the clamps down there are tight. So we got our new hose, our new air intake hose on. I think we're ready to fire this thing up. Okay, we got the air intake on, we got the battery installed, we got a new fuel pump in. So it's time, we're ready to fire this thing up and see if it'll set and idle. So here we go. There you go. It'll start up, it'll run, it won't idle. I got to keep giving it the gas to keep it running. So We either got a cylinder missing or we still got a bunch of bad fuel in there. So either of those are possible, but we're definitely a step closer on the Beamer project. Okay, cleaned the map sensor and took the tubing off, cleaned the map sensor back up, and put everything back together on the front there. Let this thing warm up because it's been setting for so long. I'm sure there was some bad fuel in the lines and probably some bad fuel still in the tank. So get some good fuel up there and let it run for a little bit, and everything seemed to smooth out. I'll show you a start, and then I'll take you to the back and we'll let you sit and listen to it idle. The engine sounds good. There's no taps in the engine. Don't hear any knocking of any kind. So I definitely think we got our money's worth. So we'll show you what it looks like and how it sounds. Again, fire up. We got some dash lights on, but it sets and idles right at a perfect 800 to 900 RPMs where it's supposed to. Everything's good with that. So when we come outside, as you can hear, it's already got a Borla exhaust on it. It had a Borla on it. I love the throaty sound of a Borla. So I haven't got underneath of it, but the exhaust looks like it's still in good shape, I would say. So as of right now, very pleased and happy. Again, we got to work on the tires, we got to work on the brakes and rotors, but right now we got about $603 by the time we bought the car, paid the fees at Copart, about $150 in the battery, so that puts us at about $750, and the fuel pump was around $50, so that puts us at about $800, and the air hose was around $30. So we'll just say we're right around $850 in this car. Obviously the tires and brakes and rotors are going to be kind of expensive, but I'm looking at spending around another $1,000, so we'll probably have about $1,800 total. It'll be under $2,000 for the Beamer. So I'm very pleased. It sets, idles, runs, engine sounds good. Got a couple engine lights on. I got an engine light and a brake light and stuff like that, but we'll take care of those. Those aren't no big deal. So I definitely think we got an $1,800 car, and I'm very well pleased with it. So once I get the tires on and get the brakes and rotors going, we'll be able to jump in this thing and take it for a spin. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like.